If you don't know me, I am Jill Coletti with Evolve with Jill, and I am so excited to have a guest today. Um, uh, Both Amanda and I are part of the Invincible Family Project. Here's a book, the book that we're going to be talking a little bit about. Um, and just a little bit about me is like I am just here sharing snippets. Like what I'd love to do is just go live and share snippets of my life and things that have helped me go from like a stuck Groundhog Day kind of life. I'm an ex corporate turned entrepreneur, and now my hands are in a lot of baskets. But like helped me to change my life to be creating a life that I love for my kids, right? They were my initial, but like with them along the way. And the Invincible Family Project came up as an opportunity that I just could not pass by because, again, just right in there, that word family. My kids are my motivation. My family is my motivation, and such a huge piece of why I do what I do. And what I love is that this book is 27 authors, women who are, you know, all come from different backgrounds and are like so amazing and uniquely them. And everyone is on a mission to create hope, to create these invincible families, to do all these things for their families and other people's families, and really just out there to serve and help the world. And Amanda is one of them. So thank you so much for being here. I'm super excited to be chatting with you today. So um, yeah. We met through this book. Well, kind of, I guess, through the Home Based Revolution, HBR, through
Right.
the amazing Martha Krejci. And I'm excited to say that, we're both authors on in this book. And reading your story is so inspiring to me. And I just love just from the beginning and kind of where you were at and how, your life has evolved and now how your business is evolving and your family is totally front and center in there with you, which is so humongous. I would love for you, if you would, is just share about you. Like, why are you here and what does the Invincible Family Project mean to you?
So thank you so much, Jill, for having me here because I love that, yes, we get to come together from different walks, from different experiences, and from different places of stuck to help each other come through something that we don't even know we may need to step through that. Like, you say Groundhog Day, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's my life. But I don't, at first, when I heard Groundhog Day, I was like, I don't even know what that means. But then I think about the movie Groundhog Day and I'm like, oh my gosh, every day of my life is the same. I wake up, I'm frustrated. This is what I'm doing. Like every day looks the same. And I'm like, huh, that's an interesting way to see that. And then you have to look, okay, so how can I make that different? And like you mentioned, HBR. So I, just as you were saying that, I had this revelation. So we are both a part of the Invisible Family Project. But what gave us our superpowers to become invincible was the home base revolution, the HBR.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, that's what
Oh,
made
I
us
know, like
invincible.
light
I was like,
bulb.
great connection.
Yeah.
I love it when we have those kind of sparks of like genius. That was genius. Like I just drew the circle. I made the full circle. And it happened in the most natural and inspiring way because that was what happened in my head. I was like, we became invincible because of home based revolution. And now we're in places that we may not have ever even dreamed of. Because I can tell you, so have you ever had a passion? Like you're just passionate about something, you can talk about it all day, all day, all day, every day, never get tired of it.
Mm-hmm.
I have that passion. And that passion kept getting pushed to the side. Not that it didn't get talked about every chance I got, but I felt limited in how I could be a voice. How I could do something with it, right? I'm a mom of 4. I'm married to my best friend who is a lot younger than me, which makes our relationship interesting. Um, we have a home-based business that I've been to seminar after seminar. I've invested in this program and that program and followed that person who's like doing the things in the same company
Mhm.
that I want to do, right? Like I've tried all the things and I've thrown the spaghetti at the wall
Yep.
over and over. That's what it feels like, throwing spaghetti against the wall. What
Mhm.
sticks, right? And through the process, I just kept getting discouraged. And part of the reason was why, like, no matter how many times I tried, how many different ways I tried, it never felt like me trying to build that business. It felt like me trying to do somebody else's thing
Mhm.
because that's exactly what it was. Like I was trying to make it me. I was trying to put my own jive in there, but it just wasn't jiving with me. No matter
Mhm.
how hard I tried, I felt limited. I felt like my own experience wasn't enough in what I was trying to do. And so none of those things ever really helped me. Now, the seminars, I thought I was going for business. The seminars impacted my marriage like so many times I can't even like it's like a infinity multiplied, right? Like it's
Mhm.
my marriage went from hmm, it went from roommates living together having kids, literally didn't agree on a lot, much of anything. To now my husband just recently told his boss he's not working on Mondays anymore. He is only working 4 days a week, whether he likes it or not. Fully prepared to walk away from his job if that's what like if that was the bottom line. He was fully prepared, and I'm not sure exactly where his confidence level comes from because I'm not that confident.
Yep.
However, to have his confidence in me be that high is like, what? I don't know where that came from, but I can tell you it all started with the release of this book. And when I started HBR and what this book means to me is finding your passion and being able to run with it. Having the tools in your pocket that make it a possibility. So, just for example, 2 years ago, if you would have, like, my passion, so just to tell you a little bit about myself, my passion is everything pregnancy and childbirth. I am a mom of 4. I said that I had a C section and with my first, she was breech. And I had the worst experience of my life with my OB, right? Couldn't stand her. I actually the final straw with me for deciding on the scheduled C-section was I wanted her out of my life. I know that's like the worst type of decision to make, but I
I'm
wanted
sure
her
you're
out
not
of
the
my life.
only one that has
Yeah.
had
I
those same thoughts.
like
Yeah.
she had no love for me. She had no compassion for me. She had no care for me. Like I was literally just a patient. She cared nothing about me. She belittled me at every appointment. She bullied me about my weight. Like it was just the worst situation. Like I left every appointment crying. And I was like, I just wanted her out of my life. Like I felt like she was just demeaning me in ways that shouldn't have been done. And little did I know that this is like a normal thing happening in our medical system today. And I left that experience feeling like a failure until about 2 weeks later, I had a revelation that I hadn't failed. My body hadn't failed, but the medical system had failed me. And there came this passion of, I'm not going to let this happen to somebody else. So I started talking about things to people whenever they would listen. I was like, don't let your doctor do this. Don't let your doctor. And I
Yeah.
started like learning and growing from there. So my passion I then went on to have 4 home births. No, 3 home births. After that, I have four children total. First was a C-section, and then I had 3 home births. So everything pregnancy and childbirth is my passion because our medical system is really undermining the power that women hold in within their bodies.
Yeah.
And this power is something beyond anything you can comprehend. Like, you can tell yourself, but I'm weak. I don't think I can handle that. And I can look you in the face and say, you won't even question it in the moment.
Yeah.
Your body will do things that you didn't know it was capable of. And you will be like, did I just do that? And everybody around you is going to be like, yes, you did. Right? Like, because that's the way it is.
I'm
And
getting the chills as you're talking. Oh,
that's the way it's meant to be. So that's my passion. But as a mom of 4 young children, my youngest is 2, almost 2. As a mom of 4 young children, and I was still having children during this time, mind you. So I was going through pregnancies and childbirths of my own. I couldn't see myself being a doula. I couldn't see myself pursuing midwifery. I couldn't see any of that coming about because how was I supposed to do all that studying and learning and right to get there while I'm raising my young children and I'm a homeschooler? So, like, add that on top of the list of mom duties, right? And I'm not complaining. I love homeschooling my kids. I love being in that control. So
yeah.
that's not the thing. It's just the thing, like, you only have 24 hours in a day. You cannot fit more in when there is no time to give.
Yeah.
And so then HBR came along, and I had had somebody speak into me saying, you know what, you need to have a YouTube channel where you're sharing these little tidbits in short videos and get this information out there because we've never heard any of this.
Mhm.
And at the time I was like, yes, I love it. I'm going to go do that. I made the YouTube channel and then realized I had no clue what to do beyond that.
Yeah.
Right? Like, yeah, I can record a video. Had no idea how to edit, how to make a thumbnail, how to actually create my YouTube channel graphic stuff. Like, I was like, I don't know. And never did it ever cross my mind that I could make money doing that.
Yeah.
Never. Never even crossed my mind that I could make a business out of that. And then HBR came along, and so when I found HBR, so I had joined another program, Gold for Gold, because of
Mhm.
the home-based business I have, or the MLM that I have, the
Yeah.
network marketing company I have. I could never make the connection to myself. And found Martha through Go for Gold. And in the first module, I was like,
Yeah.
here's the missing piece.
Yeah.
Here's the missing piece. Oh my gosh, I now know how to connect this to me. And then when HBR came about a couple months later, I jumped in, and you can read my story.
Yeah.
There's I did not tell my husband about investing.
Yeah.
And part of that was his unbelief in me being able to do anything with any program because so far that had been our experience.
Yeah.
And then my husband quit his job because he was gone. So I started working through HBR and I was so excited. I had started building my website. Like, I was super excited, right? And my
Mhm.
husband took some time off, like 6 weeks off. And guess what got pushed to the back burner? My passion. Again, like, pushed off. And so come the beginning of this year, I had such a gut ache over this that I had to bite the bullet and tell my husband, like, hey, you're home in the evenings now. I need time. And so we agreed at one point to have so I got 1 hour a night, 4 days a week. 4 hours a week to start building this thing. To now he told his boss he's only working 4 days a week. I get a full day on Monday to work 8 hours, and then I even get the opportunity to work after the kids go to bed if there is a need to get to something or continue pushing forward on a certain area, because when you're building your own stuff, let me tell you, that happens a lot.
Yep. Yep.
But I am now, like, this very weekend, I'm leaving tomorrow morning to go to a training that is basically a midwifery training. My husband's consent, my husband's blessing, my mom and my mom's best friend are going with me, and my 4 children are going with me. And if I can get my almost 8-year-old into the training with me, she may just be attending as well. Because if there is anything that my daughter does, my daughter is almost 8. She's attended 3 births because she has been at the birth of each one of her siblings. And anytime she sees a woman who has a belly, she's like, "Mom, she's got a baby in her belly." And she walks up to people and says, "My mom can help you have a home birth."
That right there.
Right there. I have changed generations just by having my babies at home, for one, but then to use that to show others that they can do it, to share what I've learned along my own journey, to go out and do the thing. And my daughter, if you ask her, here she comes. My daughter, if you were to ask her, would tell you she wants to be a midwife.
You gonna be a midwife?
Mm-hmm.
When you grow up? Yeah.
Just like my mommy.
Yeah.
My
Oh,
mom was about to be a midwife.
I love that. Are you so proud of your mom?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
We like babies, don't we? We like babies, don't we?
Uh-huh.
I love it.
Go. So there, right there, that's my passion right there.
Yeah,
She knows
yeah.
she was born differently, but she already knows that it was the system.
Yeah.
And this book pushes against the system on all sides, because it's not just about pregnancy and childbirth. It's about being stuck as a mom, feeling like you're just going in and out of every day, the same, and you're not teaching your children how to live a life. You're not teaching your children how to build something, how to build a life you're proud of, and to be in that space and be able to have the freedom to love that life from the beginning, not until you retire, then you get to love life. Well, that's a crapshoot. I mean, that's a crapshoot altogether right there.
Right.
Why work spending your life in a situation where you're not happy instead of pursuing a passion and helping other people walk through what what you've already been through?
Right.
We all have our own stories and our own journeys and our own experiences, but that doesn't mean that we're the only ones who've had these experiences and need help going through them.
Right.
We all have that in us.
Yeah.
And we all walked through something. For me, it was pregnancy and childbirth. I walked through a situation, didn't like how it turned out, didn't like my experience, and vowed that that cannot be how it is.
Yeah.
And that I wanted to
lives
be a
you're
difference.
impacting. I mean, this is like generational impact. This is like
It is. My
It's-
kids know,
Yeah.
that birth is not scary. It is not painful, ugly, gross, disgusting,
Yeah.
inappropriate.
Yeah.
It's not it's just not any of those things. It is a beautiful experience. And when your family, like my son has attended 2 births. My other children, like each child attended the birth of the child that came
Yeah.
after them. So
Yeah.
they have all, I mean, we play midwife at home all the time. Like, can you
Yeah.
help me have my baby? Oh,
I
wait,
love
did the placenta come yet? Like, these are normal conversations in my house. Like, all 4 of my kids breastfeed their kids. Yes, my son plays that too. It's weird, but it
But
is what it is. At least I know that he
constant
can share his
impact.
wife. He can encourage his wife
Yeah.
through that because he's experienced it. And that is what makes the biggest difference to me. Now, I took that passion and I placed it with HBR. And with HBR, I have been able to just do so much. And so being a part of Invincible Family was like you said, a no-brainer.
Right. Right.
Family, you
Yeah.
just saw my family
Yeah.
100% supports what I'm doing.
Yeah.
100% understands that there is a huge purpose behind the work that I'm doing and are willing to back me up,
Yeah.
to give me the space. Oh, hey Olaf.
Oh, hi, Olaf.
My 2-year-old is
I mean,
trying to hand
give me
Olaf.
the space, but like here it is. What I love about it is that there's so much of your story that I can relate to. And I just think, oh man, if I met her 10 years ago, like I literally think about just like my experience and I'm like, oh, like as I'm reading your story and like I was reading your story in here and as you've been speaking, I'm like, oh my God, I can relate to so much of it. And there were so many moments during the births of both of my children that I kind of felt powerless.
Yep.
And yet it's such a powerful thing that we're doing and we are naturally meant to do these things, right? But so there's a lot of just that part of your story, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then the other piece of your story where your kids are here, right? Your kids are witnessing all of this.
Yep.
You're doing this for your kids in so many ways because you're like desiring to create an income from what you're passionate about, to be the example for them, so that they know they can do whatever they desire in their life to create a life they love.
Yeah.
By being authentically who they are and what they love, right?
Yeah.
So you're doing all this stuff for them, right? And you're being all this example, but you're also doing it with them. They're right there with that video. They are going to be in that car with you, heading to your trips for you to get that certification. They are there for you, supporting you right there. I mean, how proud your daughter is of you. I mean, it's just like, that's one of the biggest pieces for me is like when my kids held the book more than me holding it, when my kids held it and the faces on there, they were so proud. And when I have like my son's first book in my hand, right, of like what he's doing, that's the pieces of like your story as well. And so many of the other women in this book, right?
Yep.
Is that we can all relate to pieces. And not only like, I'm like, man, if I knew her then she could help me. Right? Like I would be so having you travel to New Hampshire.
Right. And that's
you know what I mean?
The
Like,
other thing, that's the dream of our family is that I don't plan on being a local.
yeah, just helping local family. Not just.
I don't plan on being a local placement. I plan to travel to births. I plan to say to my friends, hey, you know what? I do this and I will come to you.
Yeah.
I will be that person for you. Can you not do that, baby?
And that's what you're doing. And I think that's like, we keep going. Obviously, like we're talking about the book, right? But it's like
right. And the
story.
Invincible Family. So the
Invincible Family, creating hope. You're an everyday family. Like watching your progression and just reading your progression and hearing you talk about your progression as a family with the relationship with your husband, with your kids, like going from feeling stuck and like not feeling like you can work on what you
like how can I make
talk
this?
about it.
How can I make a business like, and then realizing that I am the that was there it is.
You are the business.
There it is. I just opened my mouth and again it just comes out. I am the business. And when I was trying to build a business that wasn't me, that's why it wouldn't work. Yeah. When I came into HBR and started learning, I finally realized and like I said, I've only been doing really building this since January 5th, 6th, 7th, right? Like the beginning of January. And writing a book was not
Right.
even in my, like, it was no, well, okay, writing my book is in the vision somewhere eventually. But I started blogging. And that was like huge for me to just blog because I was
Yeah.
like, I'm not a writer, but I've been blogging since February. Where did that come from?
Yeah.
And you know, the thing like writing a book was not on my thing, but like she said, when this came up, it was a no-brainer as to what to do with it. Like
Yeah.
I need to be in that book because my story says you can come with your young kids, with your family, not being so supportive in the beginning, but by taking the actions, doing the movements and doing all the things, they
Yeah.
start to be like, "Wait, what?" I mean, 2 weeks before my husband took the Monday off, he literally asked me, like looked at me. I had just received my copy of this book and he literally looked at me and was like, do you want me to just quit my job so that you can do this full time? And I was like, whoa, buddy, back up.
Yeah.
We're not quite there yet.
Yeah.
But the fact that he sees that vision now,
He
the
believes in
fact that
you. Yep.
now he sees it and it's like, you can do this and you are going to be making that money. You're going to be helping so many people that it is going to drastically change our lives. And I will be able to be at home doing the homeschooling to help you be able to be more accessible to your people because he has a dream too, but it won't take all of his time like it takes mine. It won't take as much as it takes for me to be in front of this, right?
Yeah.
He needs to be under a car. That's his dream.
But here it is though, like you starting on this path is paving the way for your entire family
Right. To step
to
into
live
something
a
different.
life that they love, doing what they love.
That is free. Freedom. And
Like that's like right, like
right.
mic
And
drop.
I didn't just write one book either. Like not
Oh
even
yeah,
on
hello. Right.
not even on my vision board. And yet in the same month I launched 2 different books. I was like, how is this my life?
Oh my word.
Wait, where did this come from?
Let's share the other book. Do you have it in your hand?
Yeah, the other book is Infertility Success.
I love that.
Stories of help and hope for your journey.
Yeah.
And that is
I love
20
that.
women who came
I love
together
it.
to share their infertility success journeys. And I say infertility success. I don't like the word infertility.
Yeah.
But we've all walked a journey. Many women today are facing infertility, and that's
Right.
another thing. Like I want to speak into those women because I'm sorry, I had all of mine. Um, our medical system likes to make women think that once they hit 35, their body is dumb and forgot how to have babies,
Yeah.
and that is something that I am here to dispel right now. Like that is my biggest, like I will get up on that soapbox and talk to you because I was 37, 40, 41, and 43. Don't tell me you can't have kids later in life.
Right. You can. And that's where
And the
the
way you
world
want
is.
to. And the way you want
Right.
to.
Boom. Girl, I could talk to you all night. Seriously.
Right? Right.
And I know you're traveling tomorrow. Like, I really appreciate you like talking
Right.
to me
Right.
because you have a lot going on, right? You're
I do.
taking the course, you're taking your kids with you, you're learning all the things, and we're finding time to chat. And I literally could talk to you for hours on end.
Yes.
And so is there anything that you would like to kind of share that maybe you didn't before
Well, I would like for the book itself, my chapter walks through the journey that I went through with my husband. If you have a passion and your family isn't on board, I encourage you and I challenge you to step out, to step in and go for your passion. Because when you start taking steps, when you take action and do these things, they will all of a sudden be cheering you on in ways that you could never even ask God to have them cheer you on. And I say this from a place of like understanding. Like there were times when in the beginning, and I'm saying this out of love for my husband. I love my husband. He is my biggest supporter, makes me laugh every day. But when I first started, there were many nights when my set hour got pushed back or pushed aside until one day I looked at him and I said, we can't treat this like we can't say this is a business if you're not going to treat it like a true business. And that stopped.
There you go.
Because when I gave it that priority, he gave it that priority. And over time, all of my excitement, my husband could care less what my website looks like, but every time I get excited about something I did on my website, he totally checks it out for me.
That's awesome.
Because of that belief in what I'm doing, and because he now has that where he believes, he sees it in me. He sees that ability in me. And he saw a complete transformation of somebody who was like so uncertain about what she was doing to who I am today. Twice published best-selling author, blogger, created a journal, and created and published a journal, right? Like I am doing things that heck, even a month ago, I would have told you were insane. Right? Like
Right?
even 3 months ago, I would have said, no way.
Yeah.
And then here I am. Okay, I've got 2 books. I
And
have
I
a
think that's
journal
a
for
great
sale.
point because I think there's a lot of people, right? And I definitely was there, right? That we worry so much about what everyone else thinks, especially like obviously like a spouse or a family member. And, you know, even when they don't believe in us, if we really fully believe in ourselves, you know, it will happen, right? The support will happen. Oh, we got a new hat on. So cute. I love it. So like, yeah, just go for it. Go for it. Right? That's me. Oh, your hair's long.
To her
Whoa.
knees.
Oh my
When
word.
it's down.
When it's down, it's to her knees.
Wow. Mine was like that once, and then it kept getting caught when I tried to sit up. So I chopped it off. So these were all, I mean, seriously, so many amazing. I feel like there's so many pieces of this story that people are going to be like, yeah, me too, me too. Oh, I feel that. Oh my gosh, like I'm so there. I have the link to connect with you. It's findingamanda.com, I think, right?
Yes, findingamanda.com is where you can find my links to what I have to offer.
We all have everything, all the books.
Who I am. Yeah, you can find me all the places right there.
Yeah. So like if even a smidge of this resonates with you, check her out because she is changing this world. You are really truly changing this world. And obviously I'll share the link as well for the book. So if you're interested and you can read a little bit more about your chapter, she didn't give everything away. So got to read a little bit more about her story, but thank you again for having, like I said, I really could literally talk to you all day, but I know you have people to hang with and things to do and, you know, so many important things. So I really appreciate your time and it's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Jill, so much for having me. I really appreciate it. And I'm honored to be in your space and sharing with you on
Thank
this.
you.
Sorry, I thought,
Bye.
I thought the baby came in. I was like,